Welcome to this week's episode of Drawing on Experience by Noname Porter-McShirley, produced by Riffle Publishing Incorporated. This week I'm drawing a Northern Saw-whet Owl, and I'll be talking about getting attention versus getting results in any relationship, business or personal. First, I'll throw in a little information about saw-whet owls. They are very small, being just 7 inches tall. While northern is in their name, at some time of the year they can be found in woodlands across most of the United States, except not in the southeastern Texas to Florida region. And they do also reach well into Canada. Owls are visually attractive because of their very big shiny eyes, combined with an air of confident, unflustered superiority. Owls are well known to sit calmly in the night, with their sharp claws and shiny little beaks, watching intently with their huge eyes, waiting for an unsuspecting little creature to reveal itself. They swoop down silently, due to several unique features of wing and feather structure. All those soft feathers also make owls look incredibly cuddly. Big eyes are attention getters to humans. They make us ooh and ah. We just like them. Subconsciously, we think helplessness, innocence, love, and lots of potential. Because while there are a few creatures like the owls that have big eyes and big heads as adults, more often large eyes and heads signify infancy. Even if you are the type who would never want a messy animal in your bed or your kitchen, you still can't deny the joy of looking at kittens, puppies, baby humans, deer fawns, bunnies, and just about any baby creature. Animals also seem to recognize when a life form is infantile, even across species lines. Many types of adult animals have been used to foster parent orphaned baby animals of different species. Sometimes this has even happened without humans placing them together. Pets generally recognize human infants as babies, even if it's the first time they've met one, and even if the baby is bigger than the pet dog or cat. Whether this is by visual cues such as big eyes or simply by observing relative inability in the baby, I don't know. Probably the latter. But however they figure it out, animals very often treat any baby, including human ones, more gently and with more care than how they treat adults. Okay, so that's all good background information, but I digressed a bit from the thoughts I most wanted to share today. Looks like the thumbnail image of this owl got your attention, as I hoped it would. Your natural response was to take a look to see more of this attractive image and how it was drawn. Maybe the title drew you in because you hoped to learn something. I got a click. Nice. But getting attention doesn't always get good results in the long run. For example, obviously I want to grow my audience, so I can receive more positive results from my hard production work. But I have to have substantial content behind those big owl eyes, or I risk negative responses. I have to think beyond getting your attention and restrain myself from posting until I have a complete message that's worth your time. I have to try my best to give you some things worth thinking about and leave you satisfied and interested in coming back for another video. Better yet, if I can make you so delighted you feel like commenting or sharing the video with someone else. Now here's another example you might find more applicable to your everyday life. Say you are irritated over some things at work. It's work, and you know everybody has to put up with things they don't like. But one day you're just so tired of it, and it feels like more than you should have to accept. And you think, maybe if you let the boss know how you really feel, they'll make some changes. Surely they know you're valuable, and they would want to keep you around. And they haven't fixed anything because you haven't told them what's wrong. Things are just stupid, and if you tell the boss how stupid things are, surely they'll want to fix them before everybody quits. You're nervous, and you put it off. But eventually, the pressure builds up, and you take the plunge, and you write the boss an email telling all the worst things about your job and how you just can't take it anymore. Then you wait nervously. You might feel relieved momentarily in having vented, and you might try to console and justify yourself that you were just communicating. Isn't communication a good thing? Well, how would you feel in the boss's shoes? How do you feel anytime someone implies that everything is wrong and it's your fault? Even if problems were your fault, you would feel like fighting back, defending yourself, passing the blame, and finding fault with the person accusing you. If you expect something better from your boss, if you expect them to calmly accept your criticism and search for positive solutions, you are expecting him or her to be much better than you were in writing your email. You will have gotten attention, and you will have satisfied your momentary desire to vent, but you won't get the results you really want. So what should you do instead? Stay silent and suffer? No. Following the same example, you should notice your own feelings of frustration and what about your job has gotten you upset. Then your anger has done its job. It got your attention, and you can tell your anger to sit quietly in the corner, because you're going to get to work on really solving things. So then, with less emotion, you can think more clearly. Next, you want to examine everything related. How did things come to be the way they are at your workplace? Why does the boss tolerate it? Or does it serve the company somehow to have things as they are? What would be a solution that would not just make you happier, but that would solve problems for the boss and the company? Then slow down. You can't just tell your boss how things need to be, as if he was stupid for not seeing it 5 years ago. You have to think about how you can slip the idea to him suggestively, accentuating the advantage to him. You might communicate bits and pieces as you chance to encounter him in passing, or you might lay the whole idea out at once. That depends on his personality and his time constraints. But let's put a little detail on our example. Let's say you're overworked and worn out because there isn't enough staff for all the work. You feel like telling the boss that people have quit because the job is too hard, and you might have to quit too if they don't stop expecting you to do the work of 3 people. But you realize the boss is stressed about how to get everything done and wondering why they can't keep enough people on staff. So you wait for a day that you see the boss walking by your workstation and make sure he doesn't look to be in too much of a rush. You say something like, "Hey, I was thinking about how you could ease the high turnover rate here. I know everyone is feeling overworked, and new hires pick up on that. And I know you want to make sure the new people learn to do things right. But I think so much training makes them feel the job is a lot harder than it really is. So they decide to go somewhere easier. But what if, instead of trying so hard to train the new people, your head trainer just taught them the most important stuff really fast, so they could get in here and start helping get things done? But at the same time, what if we got all the existing staff to agree to really welcome the new people and talk about how nice it's going to be with so many hands, and nobody's going to be overworked anymore, and we're all happy to help them learn everything? What do you think? Now, this may be a little simplified, and it's not going to work at a lot of places, especially at huge companies that are set in their ways. But just take it as an example of framing an idea in a way that seems to respect other people, pulls people together, and solves everyone else's problems, instead of focusing on your own problem. but still results in solving your own problem in the end. The big keys here are to think about a win-win solution and how it looks from other person's perspective, and how to communicate it in a way that really softens up the other person, instead of making them want to fight or exercise their authority over you in a way that makes things worse. Instead of adding to the boss's stress by voicing problems or making demands, you can earn some extra goodwill credit by making the boss feel like you're really trying to contribute to the company's needs and make his job easier. Now, in place of boss, you can substitute spouse, friend, coworker, or customer. The same tactics work in a variety of relationships. And you don't have to feel manipulative, because this is really just a way to work with people instead of against them. So yes, communicate, but do it carefully, as in caring to look from the other person's perspective, caring for the other person, their needs, their well-being, and their feelings. You have to care to be the better person by applying effort and patience, instead of wishing everyone else were better. Just be careful also that you don't have a nasty attitude of superiority. Being better means being kind. This is all very hard, I know. It's easier to give advice, or even to receive advice, than it is to act it out. But the more we think about this, the more it can become part of who we are. It takes practice. We can choose to make it an objective to help us reach other objectives. So remember, when you feel impulsive or angry or frustrated, and you want to tell somebody how you feel, getting attention might not get you the results you want unless you've already thought about how to do it in a positive and careful way, working with people instead of against them. I hope this all makes sense. Feel free to ask questions or leave comments. And here we are at the end of what I have to share for this week. So I hope you'll join me next week for another drawing and a completely different story. Until then, check out my daily doodles that are only a minute long right here on the same channel. Thank you for watching, and I'd be honored if you chose to recommend this channel to a friend. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon.